Okay, fine. Now everything should work. Here I officially started my stream on YouTube. I'm sure you can see the video. Please let me know about the sound. And this time I decided to conduct a simul from it's not actually a simul. I decided to conduct this Blitz Practice from the co-working place. This is a conference hall that I rented especially for these Blitz games. It's quite a nice place located in Almaty, Kazakhstan. So I'm waiting for your challenges, guys. Please challenge me with 3+2 or 5+3 unrated on chess.com. Of course, before we start, I want you to tell me if the sound and video is good. I also would like to share some new information that we are going to about a new event that we are going to conduct at TheChessWorld.com. It's our tournament. We are going to conduct a tournament. Yeah, just a sec. I'm going to show you this information. Okay, just message me if everything works properly. Okay, sorry for that. So I see there are two challenges. I'm going to accept them. Well, it shouldn't be just 10 minutes. It should be 3+2 or 5+3 unrated. Okay, so everything is fine, and there is something I would like to show. Before we start. Do you see my screen now? Here at Chesslands, we decided to conduct a tournament for our students and subscribers. That tournament will be conducted next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so time is written here, and you have 6 days to register. To register, you should click here subscribe and also join our chess.com club here, and of course arrive at least 5 minutes before we start the tournament. In this tournament we offer money prizes. The first prize is $100, the second one is $50, and the third is $25. This is what you can get by PayPal. And participants who get the 4th and the 5th place will be able to obtain a free 1-hour lesson with a FIDE master, one of our FIDE masters, so which you can find actually. Let me just show you. So one of our FIDE masters that you can find on this page. For example, it can be Nikolai Yordanov, FIDE master Armin Musovic. You can also claim a class with Snehal Bhosel. Okay, let's go back to our games and play some chess. So I see 3 challenges here, and okay, yeah, Parallax, you will be the second. Okay, this is the first one, e4. If you have any ideas of what opening you want me to play against you, or you want to test something, just message me into the comment section in the chat. Here I decide to play Paulson Sicilian, but my opponent played bishop c4, which is actually a bad move. This pawn is protected 3 times. So locating the bishop on c4 is a huge strategic mistake. Moreover, I use this bishop as the object of the attack by attacking it with either b5 or d5, like it happened in this case. So black dominates in the center, and white has to play with the bishop one more time. Bishop a2, knight f6. d4 is a good move, but this is how I block the bishop now. However, instead I could just play knight c6 and continue defending my position. Okay, well, here b4, b5 is enough to keep the bishop trapped. A takes b5, a takes b5, b takes c4, b takes c4, the bishop is still trapped. Just bishop e7 in order to finish my piece's development. Yeah, okay, let's keep the a pawns on the board. Knight c3 is not doing anything. I mean, it's just an ordinary developing move. Well, knight c6 should be fine. Bishop f4, well, bishop g4, trying to pressure f3. Well, in this case, I can just take on f3, and this is how white has to capture with the pawn. Why with the pawn? Because the queen has to stay on d1 in order to support on d4. So queen goes back. And I want to play knight e6. This is how I want to keep my pieces flexible. And also this move is a tempo move. So bishop g3, of course. What can I do then? Well, my task here is just to simplify. Actually, I can take the advantage of this pin, I believe. Bishop b4. So, what can you do in order to unpin? Because something like rook a3 blunder is a blunder because of d4. Bishop e5, well, yes, it's clever, but still d4 works. Yeah, I like d4. Well, and if bishop f6, I believe I have to take with the pawn, which I don't like actually, but I'll be up the material anyway. Okay, so this is how white decided to sacrifice the exchange. Fine. Okay, Donald, so you wanted me to play tennis and gambit. What is it? This is the first time I hear about this opening. Okay, so is anything hanging? The c4 pawn is hanging, so but I can play d3 with the temper. Knight c3, rook c8. Queen d2, that makes sense. c5. I play knight c5 because I want to play this. And with knight c5 I also protect the pawn on d3, so I'm ready for bishop takes f6, queen takes f6. If speaking about the opening you want me to play against you, could you please specify your username on chess.com as well? Because it can be different from what you have here on YouTube. Okay, so here I can play knight e3, queen moves, I can play knight e2 and exchange my knight for a bishop. I can also play d2. Well, d2, I think I'll follow. Well, what else can I do? Okay, I'll do this. Now knight e2, check, king goes to f1 probably. And then I would like to play this move, rook c2, to chase the queen away. But this is how you drop the bishop on f4. You'd better play your queen to e3. Well, it's not a big problem for me. Well, what can I do? Let's play rook c3. Because my goal is to play d2, rook c1 then. d2. Check. King has to move to g1, and then I win after this simple queen sacrifice, because my next move is rook c1. Rook c1, and then I promote. Well, it no longer deserves any continuation. I'll threaten a mate on g1 and probably just deliver it on the next move. Okay, thank you for the game. Unfortunately, your position was bad from the very beginning. After you played bishop c4, I gave you no chance. I can't say that I played properly. There were a few mistakes still. Okay, yeah, I'm going to play with other people first, and if there will be nobody who wants to continue, I'll play with you again. So if there will be nobody who wants to join this Blitz practice, I'll play with you again. Okay, so now the game with parallax. c4, okay, e5. English opening, g3, I play c6. d4, well, this is where I have a tough choice. e4 is good, however, e4 might be too risky, so let's just take. So I've got an isolated pawn, but it's not a big problem. According to what I remember, actually. And here I play knight c6 to chase the queen away. In this position, if only I play d4, bishop c6 cannot be played. Yeah, I will play d4. Because bishop c6, pawn takes c6, queen takes c6, and then bishop d7. Knight b5. Well, I see the point. If this move is so, you are going to capture on on c6, and then capture on d4. So if I play this move, bishop b4. Well, if bishop d2, I'm fine, I think. I can just exchange and then just castle. I'm sure I'll have enough compensation here, even if I lose the pawn. I can also push the pawn to d3, which makes sense as well. I can play bishop d7. Okay, let's check bishop d7. Yeah, taking on c6 doesn't work. Taking here means I can play bishop here. And then the king moves to f1. Knight takes d4. Yeah, it should be fine. So bishop d7 is actually okay move. The only thing I don't like there is bishop f4. So bishop d7, bishop f4, bishop b4, and then I can castle. Okay, yeah, bishop d7 seems to be a good move. However, I spent a lot of time to find it. 1 minute 38 seconds. But I don't think that knight b8 is a good move. Okay, well, I think it's time to play bishop b4. Bishop d2. And if I exchange, knight takes on d2, which I don't like, of course. Okay, let's play bishop c5. I could exchange and then castle. Okay, let's play bishop e7. Castle. This is how I lose the pawn, unfortunately. Takes knight b4. So yeah, I was mistaken and lost a pawn. I think bishop b4 was a wrong move. Instead, I'd better play bishop e7 right away. Well, maybe here a bishop pair can compensate a pawn loss. Let's gain the tempo. Queen b6. Knight f5. Bishop c5. So let's take this pawn. So here on knight h6 is a kind of a problem. My task is not to lose on time. And exchange pieces, of course. So yeah, it was a tough game. So yeah, let's analyze it, because I'm sure I made a mistake, and this is the game that, well, I didn't expect I win, but I was playing for a win. Okay, let me click analysis, and we'll look at the mistakes I had here. So that was okay. Here, this move was also here. Everything is fine. Queen a4, d4. Actually, can I make the analysis? Oh yeah, okay, it works now. So yeah, this is where I'm better. And first, let's look at the d4 move. Well, in my opinion, it works. d4, yeah, d4, then knight b5. This is where I wasn't sure whether I should play bishop d7 or bishop b4. So for example, bishop b4, king f1, and then I could just castle. That was probably the best continuation. I played bishop d7, knight f3. Here I want you to understand that if this move was played, I play here, check, doesn't matter how they play, then I capture on d4, creating a discovered attack on the queen. So this move is good, and in this position, just simply bishop e7, I think, was enough. Yeah, but if I play a6, which I think is good as well, knight takes there, and then, yeah, then what? Bishop b4 still works, so they move the king there, and I capture on d4, so the same line works. So, oh yeah, of course, I missed a6. That was my main mistake. Here, instead of playing bishop b4, after which my position is quite suspicious, I'd better play a6. Bishop d2, bishop c5 was a mistake. I just completely missed rook c1. Instead, I'd better exchange here and just end up with castling. Oh, actually, yeah, I should castle here, I think. Yes, but then I lose here, but probably in this position, well, no, I don't like it anymore. Maybe I can play a better move here. No, yeah, I was right not to take on d2, but playing with the bishop back. Probably e7 was the best move. And then my position was fine. Okay, let's continue. Who else wants to play with me? Okay, yeah, I am accepting your challenges one by one. This one, where I'm black. Okay, c5. No, it's a blitz game. You should play better. Okay, e6. I mean, you should play faster. No, not better, but faster. Yeah, bishop c4 is a mistake because the bishop is attacking the pawn, which is protected 3 times. So a6. I could also play d5, and this is what the engine actually suggests. But a6 is also good. b5 with the idea to chase the bishop away and develop my pieces. Threatening with b4 in order to Now b4 doesn't make sense, but why not to develop the knight? Okay, and now I can play d5. Now black controls the center. Black slightly lags in development. So bishop e7 and castle kingside should be done, after which I'm absolutely sure I'm much better. d4. So there is no chance for white to take the advantage of a discovered attack here. That's why I may play d4 and gain a minor piece. Let's take here. Bishop e7. My next move is castling. Let's take. No, let's castle first to avoid complications when this bishop jumps to b5 in order to create an attack here. c4. Let's exchange something. At least the knights. And in this position, I can apply a tactical strike. No, I cannot. I wanted to play this move, but this time I'm afraid of bishop f3. But I can take, and if bishop b5 is played, then queen d5 works perfectly. Bishop b5 is played, so queen d5 is a triple attack. Also, I shouldn't forget that the bishop on e7 is hanging. The best solution for white is to retreat with the bishop to f1. Well, no, to f1. Okay, thank you for the game. The next one, 5 plus 3. So which opening you want me to play? Okay, so I'm challenging boar here. Okay, let's go back. d4 was played. Oh, I missed it. d5. c4, c6. So let's start with, as it is, Slav defense. Of course, Slav defense is not my primary opening, but sometimes I play it. Usually, I transpose the position to semi-Slav by playing e6. g3, so it's Catalan. Okay, fine. Well, this is the line I cover in my course devoted to semi-Slav defense. So how to play semi-Slav defense for black. I don't remember exactly which move I should play here. Okay, let it be knight d7. I think I'm not mistaken here. Yes, and this is where I capture on c4. And white has to play a4 in this position. Queen c2. Well, queen c2. I don't remember how to deal with queen c2. It shouldn't be a problem for me. Well, maybe queen c2 is even a mistake here. What if b5, let's say? Well, a4 isn't a problem at all, because now I can play bishop b7. By the end of all it, I should finish with one extra pawn. Okay, so bishop e7. I think instead of a4, b3 was better. Now b3 doesn't make sense, because c6 pawn is already protected. Every time knight e5 is played, I can play knight d5. Okay, in this position I can play either b4 or a6. Let me play a6. So what to expect? Probably e4 should be played. I don't see anything else. Well, the idea of this move is to threaten a takes b5. And then knight b5, because the c pawn is pinned. Well, but I think I can play just something like that in order to attack. Oh, in order to protect and attack on d4. It's quite a typical move for Catalan positions for black. Well, I think I didn't cover queen c2 in my course, but queen c2 is not the strongest option. So what to expect in this position? C takes b5 here. So something like that is a mistake, because I simply take with the queen. Well, it's not actually a blitz game, it's more a rapid game where in a critical point a player have enough time to think. Okay, bishop b7 is played. Queen b7. And e4, but well, I can play h6, I think, because I want to keep my bishop alive. Bishop f4, okay. So what can I do in this position? Well, I can just castle. It's not a problem. Okay. Okay, d5 is played. So I can capture on d5. Why not? Yes, I can capture once, and if e takes d5, if I capture with the knight, queen e4 cannot be played because of the other knight to f6. So I think it's just a blunder. Okay. Let's take bishop c5 in order to pressure it. Knight e5, knight d3 can be played as well on knight g4, which I think is better. Well, let's play here first. Knight e4. Well, I can just retreat. It's not a big problem. And they can hardly defend the pawn on e3 after knight g4. Maybe just with rook f3, which I still think is a blunder. This move. Well, okay. So knight g4 I cannot take. What if I do this with a tempo? There is no tactical strike with knight f6 or something like that. to play then? Yeah, I can just play this move in order to pressure e4 and e3 as well. And here on knight f6, oh, this is what I missed. And I don't want to give up the queen. Well, what do I have in this position? Bishop takes e3, no. Take, they take my queen, I take here, king h1, and nothing. Okay, queen a7. Take. Let's do this in order to pin. Rook e6 just to protect this rook, to be able to unpin every time. Then well, knight b2 doesn't work, knight e5. Queen b6, I just don't know which move to play. Let me think. Oh, I won on time. Well, yeah, I'm sure I'm winning this position because I'm down the exchange. However, I have two pawns as a compensation, so we can quickly analyze this game. So after a blunder, I think I'm still better. What my plan? Oh well, I think I'm still winning, and here my plan should be to promote. The other thing I can do is f5, f4, and then take on f4 with my knight. Yeah, that should be fine. So queen c2 is actually not a good move. According to what I know, a4 should be done. Queen c4, yeah. Queen c2, then b5. I was absolutely correct. And in this position, yes, b3 is the best move. I take. Well, taking on c6 doesn't look good because rook b8, a takes b3, and then something like bishop b7 looks quite good because then I can play a6 and my bishop is developed. So the pawn is not hanging because of a discovered attack. And if b3, c takes b3, queen takes b3, or maybe pawn takes is better. Just bishop b7, and I think, well, there is no full compensation. Okay, fine. Let's continue with the next challenger. Okay, Michael. I'm black here. c5. c4. Wow, e6. Knight c6. g3. Okay, so let me think what should I do against this. So my opponent no longer wanna play d4, which is good. Okay, let me change the strategy and play e5 here. I know e6, e5 looks like a tempo loss, but in fact, why not? Because at least I release my bishop. I also make this bishop bad. And we're gonna have a kind of asymmetrical position. Knight d4 first. So exchanging the bishop or the knight for a knight is okay for me. This is what I'm sure. Oh yeah, I read the comment that that bishop e3 was a miss. No. Bishop e3 was fine. Okay. What? The game abandoned? What? Oh, chess.com. What are you doing? So let's do a rematch. How did they decide that I abandoned the game? I was streaming it. So Michael, please challenge me once again. Oh, actually, I can challenge you. So here, players, friends. No. So 5 plus 5, unrated. Let's just repeat the position. c5, e6. Here I play d5, then d6, knight e7, g6, go there, castle, and I played knight d4. So then bishop g5 was played. So what should I do with this move? Well, I can play f6. Yeah, f6 works. Well, actually, I would like to exchange the bishops because my bishop is really bad. So let's come up with a plan. So what should I do? Should I play g5? Oh, actually, can I take and then play g5 in order to trap this queen on h6? What do you think? No, it doesn't work right away, but it looks very attractive. I can play g5 right away. I can play bishop g4 probably, which doesn't make much sense here. Bishop e6 still doesn't look good. I can take, play king h8 with knight g8 idea. Well, there is no need to hurry. Let's just play this move. So knight comes to the center. That was my original idea of this move. And what then? Bishop e6 in order to take. Well, bishop e6. h3. Well, let's play this position. So take here, take there, and nobody can do anything with this knight. With this pawn. Yeah, that was correct, of course. Then I play f5. f4. I wanted to play this, but the pawn isn't hanging. Let me play queen f6. And actually, I would like to take on e5 with my rook. I believe this knight is much better than the bishop on g2 because of the pawns being located on light squares. Let's take. How to continue then? So knight e2 looks attractive. Knight e2, let's say queen d2. And I don't really see any continuation. I can take on a1, it doesn't make sense. I can play this move in order to attack. I can play this move now. I don't really have many squares to move to, but now I'm threatening to take here and g5 f4, which in my opinion looks good. Well, g5 is maybe good, but I'm not sure if I should continue with f4. Well, I can play something sneaky. Maybe this and queen h6 then. Queen h6. Threatening with knight g4. I expect king g1 to be played right away to avoid it. And if king g1 is played, then g4. That's my plan. g4, queen f4, however. No, I don't like it anymore. Well, but I can push f4 right away in order to support my knight, but I'm not sure if it's good. So let me think. King g1. Yeah, the bad thing is that g4, queen f4, this is what I missed. Take. No, it doesn't look good. Well, I can just double. I can just double on the e-file. Why not? There is no need to hurry. I think I have a better position. I'm low on time, but the position is good. So now maybe g4. Queen f4. Queen takes. Rook takes. Now g4. Let's exchange here. Well, yeah, I have no other choice but to exchange. Pawn takes. G3. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's exchange. I didn't find anything better than these. But here I found knight f4 in order to take on h3. This is how I want to gain a pawn. Okay, let's take. Go there. Occupy the line. Oh, yeah, okay, it's fine. Not bad. I'm threatening with rook e3. King f6. Rook goes there. Do this, and then king g6. Maybe that was, well, I can't say it was a mistake. I just don't know what else I could do. h4, h5, h4. This is the plan. So I can save this pawn. Let's promote. So if the king goes to the g file, I will play the pawn in game by playing rook g4. That's my plan. However, I don't need to exchange right away. I can capture on d3. But I think I'm winning here. King g3. Now rook g4. So no, that was a mistake from white, because now I promote the pawn. Rook takes, pawn takes, king f1 and h2. The pawn is promoted. Well, king g2. Actually, h2 could win the game as well, but king g2 is safer. It's a more solid move. Now nobody can stop me from promotion. I don't care. Well, I can take actually. Well, let's take. Let's take here as well. Ah. So, yeah, I'd better promote, because I could successfully stop all these pawns with my rook. Check. And then, in order to stop promotion, I should play this move. King f2. C3, no. C4, well, yes, it works. And then if rook h3, I play rook takes d7. And then I exchange on d3 and successfully promote my f-pawn. Well, it was a little bit more complicated than I expected. I could win earlier if I instead won't take there. Okay, so rook takes. Okay, let's go there. So f4. C3. F3. Just want to leave more space for my rook. F2 then. The rook here should check from behind. This is what I always suggest in my course, how to play rook in games. Okay, thank you for the game. Who else wants to challenge me? Okay, guys. So you can challenge me. This is my username. Okay. So I'm waiting for your challenges. Does anybody want to challenge me? Okay. So I can challenge some of you again if you want. Who wants to play? Okay, let me check actually your comments. Oh, okay, guys. So, well, let me share this information with you again. Yeah, okay, I see the challenge. Yeah, I will accept it. Just a second. Here at Chesslands, we are going to conduct a tournament with real money prizes. So the tournament, it's a Blitz tournament, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. It starts on Sunday, July 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what you need to participate in this tournament, you just need to submit a registration form here, join our club on chess.com, and arrive at least 5 minutes earlier ready to play. Okay, the first prize is $100, the second one is $50, the third is $25, and players who are going to who will take fourth and the fifth places will get as a prize an opportunity to have a 1 hour chess lesson with a FIDE master from our chess school. Okay, let's continue and play more games. Okay, e4, c5, knight f3. So it's Sicilian. Which variation? Neustroev. Yes, it's Neustroev. Well. Okay, let me play f3. Bishop e3. So you combine Neustroev with what? Scheveningen? e5. Wow, this is what I didn't expect. What's the point of e5? Bishop e6. So you are not going to play d5 here. Let me play some prophylaxis first. b5, knight, oh, b4. I can wait until b5 is played. Well, what else can I do? h4. Let me play h4. So b4 should be done. Knight goes there. Then pawn takes. Bishop goes away. Well, actually, it was better to take with the knight, but I believe you were afraid of some pawn's attack. Bishop d3. I could actually capture the pawn on b4, could I? Well, yes, I think there was no compensation. f5, f5. Let's play this move first. So f4, the diagonal is open. Bishop f2. Yeah, that's right, of course. Queen c2. Can you guess what my plan is when I play queen e2? So f4, I believe, was a mistake. You'd better keep the position. You'd better keep the tension in the center. h5. I am threatening with this. So if finally you decided to sacrifice, well, okay, I see. Maybe g5 should be played first. Well, no. Here I can exchange queens, which in my opinion is the best solution in the current situation. Well, can I play h6? Does it... Rook a2 probably? No, let's exchange the queens. g5 could be a better move, actually. Yeah, g5 could work. I'm not sure if bishop g6 was a good move, but I played it anyway. Now I'm going to promote. Let me take. So you see, I even don't need to capture the pawn on b2. g8, bishop g8. Okay, thank you for the game. Who else wants to join me? Well, if nobody else, I will take a rematch. I will accept a rematch. c5. b3, wow. Mm. And the bishop g4. Let me take there. So now, because now the bishop is bad. I don't believe in g4 and neither knight h4 nor knight e5. I think it only is in my favor. So knight e5 is coming. If I play queen there, then knight e5. So knight d7 could make sense. Maybe it's too optimistic because it's moved back. Of course, I want to play queen c7 and threaten the mate here, but well, I won't be threatening the mate. Maybe that was a mistake. Another thing I can do f6 e5, but it only opens this bishop. So let's take there. If I play queen c7, b5. I didn't calculate this line properly, but let's try. Knight takes there. Rook takes there. So knight takes e5. And in this position, I continue with this move, attacking here. What did you prepare? Well, yeah, maybe two bishops is good, but there is an isolated pawn. This is what you shouldn't forget. Queen d6. And these. to blockade the bishop on d5. Queen d3 attacking here. Let's just play a6. It would be in my favor if white captures on d5, of course. So my goal is to play these and these moves, then maybe h5. And queen d5 here. This bishop is bad. b4, rook d8. And finally, I undermine with this move. I was just looking if there is any tactical strikes, but no. Queen f5, I'll capture with the pawn. Bishop takes. Well, pawn takes. So rook goes there probably. Okay, yeah, this is a winning position. However, it takes some time for me to win. Well, I could do what? Maybe rook e4 in order to protect. Then queen c4 to exchange and get the pawn here. That could be the plan. Okay, who else wants to join me, to join our Blitz practice today and challenge me? Okay, I'm just checking if anybody on Facebook wants to challenge me. No, nobody. Okay, any suggestions, guys? Or we can finish for today. What do you think? Well, okay. So we can finish for today, but before we finish, I kindly recommend you to register for our tournament. So here at TheChessWorld.com, we are going to run a tournament with real money prizes. The first prize is $100, the second one is $50, the third is $25. This is what you can get in money. We will transfer it by PayPal if you'll be the winner. So the people who gets the 4th and the 5th place can claim a 1-hour chess class with a FIDE master from our online chess school. What you should do in order to participate in this tournament? Well, here submit this form, join our chess.com club, and arrive 5 minutes earlier than we start. Just to remind you, we start our tournament on Sunday at 24th of July at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, well, if there are no challenges, let me finish our event. What are we going to do next Sunday? Next Sunday there will be a tournament, and I won't be playing myself, of course, but I will watch games and try to comment them, suggest the moves. Of course, there will be maybe 30 seconds delay, so in Blitz you cannot take my suggestions into account and apply them on the board. That's why I expect, actually, guys, I expect you to play fair in this tournament. Thank you for your attention. Well, we finish for today and hope